Welcome to Whole and Healthy Cooking with Chef Val. Hi, I'm Chef Valerie Wilson. It's March 1st, 2023, and that means that it is Dirk Benedict's birthday today. So I want to take this opportunity to wish him a happy 78th birthday. And I also want to share with you my personal story. I have been teaching healthy, whole foods cooking classes since 1997. And I get asked all the time, what got you into this? What got you cooking this way? Now, my background is in macrobiotic cooking. All my recipes use organic ingredients. They're all vegan, and it's whole foods. Macrobiotics is a particular lifestyle that involves the energy of the food, and it involves the balancing the energy in your life also. So when I was a young girl living with my parents and we would watch TV, my favorite show was Battlestar Galactica, where Dirk Benedict played Starbuck. Maybe you remember this show. He was also Face in the A-Team. Although I never really was a fan of the A-Team, but I loved Battlestar Galactica. Now, I had posters on my wall of Dirk Benedict, and he was my first TV crush, basically. And as I grew up, I would see him on television, and I remember that he told the story of how he had prostate cancer and how he healed himself. If I remember correctly, this was on a Mike Douglas show. And I always remembered that, and I thought, I would like to read that book. So then as I got older, graduated from high school, went on to be in my 20s, I would go to bookstores and I would ask them, have you ever heard of this book written by Dirk Benedict? Now at that time, I didn't have the title of the book, but most people knew who he was because he was a TV star and nobody knew what I was talking about. So then one day I went and visited a friend who worked at a health food store. And lo and behold, on the bookshelf was Dirk Benedict's book. Confessions of a Kamikaze Cowboy. I tell this story that as I was in the health food store, this ray of light shone on the book and it got really bright and I could hear the angels singing in the background. Well, that really didn't happen, but it was a life-changing moment. Now, my friend who worked at the health food store thought that I was kind of crazy because I made a big deal about this book. Because remember, I had been searching for it for years. I could not put this book down. This is an amazing story of Dirk Benedict's journey, how he had prostate cancer, and how he changed his diet, and how he healed himself. This was my introduction to macrobiotics. This has in it the seven principles of the order of the universe, one of which is everything changes. I always remember that, always. He talked about the energy of the food. He talked about what the food did to his body. He talked about his journey, about how he went into a cabin out in the woods all by himself and ate this brown rice and chewed it and chewed it and chewed it 100 times and healed his body. There's some more pictures on the back. I'll show you the back cover here. You can see. Now this book, in case you can't tell, has been through the ringers. It's pretty much falling apart. I couldn't put this book down when I got it. I just read it. It was amazing. It was awesome. I've loaned it to some people throughout the years, and that has maybe something to do why. But this is the original book that I found way back then. I had to find out more about this thing called macrobiotics because I had never heard of it before. So I went to health food stores and I bought up any and all books that I could find. And then there was a flyer at a health food store saying that there was somebody here in Michigan who taught macrobiotic cooking classes. And so I did take some of her classes. I think I took 2 or 3 classes. And then she announced she needed an assistant. I raised my hand and said, I'll do it. I already had a background in food. I had been working in the food industry since I was 18 years old. I had managed a delicatessen, managed a restaurant, and I literally have been cooking with my mom since I was 9 years old. So moving into the food category of macrobiotics was very easy for me. And I apprenticed there for 2 years. And then I went on to personal chef for people, cook for people, teach cooking classes, and also counsel people. Now in 1994, I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Benedict. He came here to Michigan to do a lecture promoting his second book, and then we went fishing. This is all about his journey of becoming a father, but also the journey of his relationship with his father. Another great book. Now, when I met him and he gave this lecture, I was so excited to meet him. I think back on this time and I get kind of embarrassed because I was one of those gushing fans that was so excited to meet him. And then after he gave his lecture, we got to get his autograph, and I asked him, can I have my picture taken with you? And he said yes. And I told him that I intended on framing this picture and hanging it on my wall. And at the time, he kind of looked at me. I'm not really sure if he believed me, but for 29 years, that picture has been framed and hanging on my wall. And here is the picture. That's me and Mr. Dirk Benedict. And here is his autograph. Now, I had him autograph the book, and then we went fishing because that's what he was promoting. I kind of kick myself now because Confessions of a Kamikaze Cowboy was the book that changed my life. But either way, I'm very proud of those things, and they hang on my wall right over there in my kitchen every single day, where I am inspired to create delicious, healthy recipes, still using the principles of macrobiotics, all organic, all vegan food, whole grains. And so that's a little bit about my journey. And I wanted to wish Dirk Benedict a happy birthday today on March 1st. May he have many, many more birthdays. So thank you so much for tuning in. And if you get a chance, please share the video. If you have not already, please hit the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate that. And you know, I have lots of ways for you to learn about healthy whole foods cooking. Go to my website, macroval.com. I'm always teaching cooking classes. I host a radio show that's on the internet. And I also have a blog called I Am the Creator of My Health. So I look forward till next time. Remember, your journey to eating healthy begins with one small step. Let's take that small step together.